Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for entering the ballroom and even more for taking your seats. We have a very full complement of senior leaders collected here this morning and a very full program. And a number of the ministers are speaking this morning, and most of them also have a tight schedule of bilateral and minilateral meetings. So I want to start this first opening plenary on time. It will run until approximately 09:40, and then we will start the next plenary immediately after the conclusion of this, and only after that will you have your first coffee break. But I'm sure you will find the four presentations this morning sufficiently captivating that you won't need to resort early to caffeine. Let me open the proceedings this morning by again asking you to take your seats, but also by thanking the Honourable Malcolm Turnbull, Prime Minister of Australia, for his excellent set of remarks yesterday, his spirited answers to questions, and his commitment to the defense diplomatic goals of this dialogue. This morning at 8 a.m. he was kind enough to meet 35 of our young Southeast Asian leaders that we had gathered here in Singapore from all 10 ASEAN states. And as you know, developing the successor generation of strategists is the key element in building the foundations of sound security in this Asia-Pacific region. The first plenary is about to begin, and out of courtesy for the Speaker, let me just remind you of 2 or 3 rules of engagement, to borrow a phrase from the military. The first rule of engagement is that this plenary is on the record, as are all the plenaries this morning, which means the formal statements made from the podium are on the record. But it's also true that the questions are on the record, so I hope the questioners will discipline themselves as much as the speakers from the plenary will in light of that reality. After each of the plenaries, we will have a question and answer session. We want that question and answer to be brisk, to engage as many people as possible. And I want to repeat what the method is to seek the floor. Each of you have a badge. You can actually extend the badge. And if you tap the badge on the left-hand side of the microphone, it will then ask you whether you're sitting to the left or the right of the microphone. Press the left button if you're sitting on the left, or the right button after you've tapped if you're sitting on the right. And if you want to seek the floor, press the microphone button. The microphone button will turn green. But the fact the microphone button is green does not mean your microphone is on. It only means that you're in the queue in my laptop here. When I call on you, I will turn on your microphone, and when you finish speaking, I'll turn it off. So you tap with your badge, you press whether you're left to the right, and then you press the microphone button. I hope those 3 steps, followed in order, are not too difficult, and it will ensure that we have a number of people quickly engaged in the debate. The opening plenary this morning is on the theme, the United States and Asia-Pacific security. And we have to address this morning the U.S. Secretary of Defense, James Mattis. He's a great friend of the IISS and of defense diplomacy. I came to know him first when he was CENTCOM commander, and he paid extraordinary attention in that role to engaging not just with his peers, but with many people throughout the CENTCOM area in order to understand their politics, their culture, their engagement with the outside world. Yesterday, you might recall, I uttered the IISS axiom, the one that I developed for my own IISS staff, that good strategy is conducted with a cool head and a warm heart. And if there is a current exponent of that maxim, it certainly is James Mattis. We thank him for his commitment to the Shangri-La dialogue. He has a full agenda this weekend, packed with many important private meetings. We eagerly await his public remarks. Mr. Secretary, the podium is yours.